Now, if I were to ask you to pick one bike from the Triumph motorcycle range, there is a high possibility that the Bonneville name would have come first in your mind. Launched in the early 1960s, the Bonneville range has been the mainstay for the British brand. And the bike that we have with us today is the new T100, the latest entrant to the Bonneville family. Now Triumph has positioned the motorcycle between the Street Twin and the Bonneville T120. So who is the target audience for the T100? And does it justify the premium over the Street Twin? Let's find out. One thing is for sure, the T100 is for those looking for the old world feel expected of a Bonneville. With its classical lines, the Triumph Bonneville T100 is a beautiful looking motorcycle. Our test bike sports a dual shade of blue and white that increases its retro appeal further. The classical round headlight looks good but doesn't get LED DRLs as seen on the T120. The plum tank with the rubber tank pads and the Triumph flag on it look neat. Pea-shooter pipes add a bit of bling while the LED tail lamp signifies its modern nature. Fit and finish along with paint quality is impressive. Unlike the Street Twin, the T100 has a twin-port instrument cluster with a large speedometer and tachometer. There's also an LCD screen displaying details like fuel gauge, real-time mileage, distance to empty, gear position indicator, odometer and 2 trip meters. The switch gear is also ergonomically laid out and are of good quality. The Street Twin is compact and has a neo-retro design, while the Bonneville T100 has an old-school aura around it and something that the loyalists will appreciate. It also looks bigger and more substantial too. While it may look old-school from the outside, the Bonneville T100 gets modern features like traction control, ABS and USB ports. The two features that it misses out in comparison to the Bonneville T120 are ride modes and heated grips. The motor on the T100 is the same unit as seen on the Street Twin. The 900cc parallel twin motor delivers 55 PS and 18 Nm of peak torque at just 3230 RPM. This torquey nature means that the T100 chugs along without knocking even if you're riding a gear or two higher. Though I must add that the ride-by-wire throttle feels a bit choppy and needs getting used to. The bike feels rock solid at triple-digit speed, but the 6th gear is missed on the open highways. The 5-speed gearbox works with precision and offers positive gear shifts. The engine feels refined till 4000 RPM, after which few vibes set in through the handlebar and foot pegs. The T100 is a bike which eggs you to cruise and enjoy the vistas with a deep bassy exhaust note in the background rather than scorching the tarmac. Despite being liquid cooled, the new power plant does get hot while riding in the city and is the only chink in an otherwise well-engineered motor. The power plant is very refined and there is hardly any vibes at idle. Open the throttle and the bike picks momentum at a brisk pace. The engine is very tractable, which makes riding in the city effortless, and it cruises well too. But if you like to spend more time on the highway, the bigger engine T120 makes more sense. The flat seat and center set foot pegs result in an upright riding stance. The handlebars are also slightly curved towards the rider, which makes the riding posture comfortable and cruising on the highway effortless. The twin tubular frame of the T100 is the same as seen on the T120, while the rake angle is slightly higher than the Street Twin. The T100 also has a longer wheelbase for some added stability. Ride quality is on the softer side, and that is great when you are just chilling, but ride faster and over rough roads, it does crash a bit. Braking hardware of the T100 is shared with the Street Twin. While the front disc offers good bite, the rear feels dead while the ABS system performs well. Now, the Bonneville T100 isn't a motorcycle that you'll go corner hunting on. Having said that, show the bike some sweeping corners and it felt very stable. And it doesn't feel front heavy as the Bonneville T120. I'd also like to point out that the foot pegs are very low and they get grounded very easily, thereby restricting your lean angle. Most importantly, the T100 surprised us being very easy to maneuver even in dense city traffic. The Bonneville T100 is among the few performance bikes that can be used as a daily runner. Yes, it does weigh 213 kg, but the weight has been well distributed. The Street Twin has a saddle height of 750 mm, making it much more suitable for shorter riders. The Bonneville T100 has a saddle height of 790 mm. While on paper it might look tall, but in reality that isn't the case. It doesn't feel too tall for the shorter riders while not being too cramped for the tall riders. Talking about mileage, the Bonneville T100 returned us 21.3 kmpl in the city and 24.3 kmpl on the highway, which is impressive. The 14.5 litre tank means it has a range of over 300 kilometers, which will be useful while touring. Flat and wide saddle means pillion rider is also welcome on the T100. Also, the torque assisted clutch makes riding the bike in stop and go traffic effortless. There are some shortcomings though, like the scorching hit from the motor, and the lack of grab rail means pulling the bike out of parking is tiresome. The Bonneville T100 is among the most practical performance bikes on sale in the Indian market. It is a great option for someone who finds the street twin a bit small and is designed too modern. The Bonneville T100 has been priced at Rs 7.78 lakhs, which is Rs 78,000 more than the street twin. So does it justify the premium? And the answer is yes. The T100 offers the authentic Bonneville experience with its classical styling and is usable in the city too. A small bonus is the fact that it performs very well on the highway as well. It sits between the street twin and the T120, but what it offers is the best of both the bikes.